David Moyes has given his pre-match press conference ahead of Everton's final ever 3 o'clock game at Goodison Park on a Saturday. Moyes speaking today to the press. Unsurprisingly, the first question he was asked was about Dominic Calvert-Lewin after comments attributed to the Everton striker suggested that he might want to stay at Goodison Park. Well, stay for the next 2 games, stay at the football club beyond this season. This is what David Moyes had to say.
Well, I think the way the team's playing and the goals we're scoring, the chances we're making, will give Dom a lot more hope that he wants to try and work his way back to the top again. And by doing that, he needs to score goals, have assists, and I think that the team might be able to give him something like that. So he's part of that group of players who are coming out of contract who we'll discuss with and see how things go in the coming weeks.
Is there any extra detail you can give? Because we know there's been a contract offer on the table. Has there been a renewal of that? Has there been anything different as regards?
Well, all I can say, there's not been a contract offer on the table since I've been here, Vinny. I think the contract offer was here under a different regime. So we want everybody to have to fight for what they're doing. They have to show what they're worth. So there's a lot of that way. We're taking a little bit of time to look at. We've not had loads of time since January, but we've had some time. Unfortunately, Dom's been injured for a big part of it. But Dom's history has been very good, so obviously we'll be taking all that into consideration.
All very intriguing from David Moyes there about Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Listen, who knows? Who knows? It looked for certain he was going to leave the club, and he might still do. But you just wonder why his agent has come back. Maybe Dom has seen the upturn in the team and there's a different feel about the place now and wants to be part of it. We'll wait and see. One thing we know, that David Moyes will make sure that he's fully committed to Everton Football Club and whether he can do the job, as he said there, before, committing to Dominic Calvert-Lewin, I guess. So it is a case of watch this space. Thought there might be a chance he'd be in the squad tomorrow, but the manager did say he was short of fitness. He'd only had sort of 3 days training and seemed to play it down a little bit. So it might be Dom's back next week for the trip to Fulham, but we'll wait and see. The manager, obviously Everton have stopped scoring goals really of late. And one of the reasons has been our set pieces have dropped right off. The manager was asked whether or not he thought the set pieces were an issue, whether they were any good. This was his response.
It's been rubbish. And I'd be the first to say it. So there's whatever discussion MD's had, I would be the first one to join in and clap my hands with them as well.
What's it down to?
Delivery. Probably mainly delivery at the moment, I would put it down to. I think that, you don't get the ball where we're planning to work to or do something. You need the quality of delivery to be much better. Our delivery has been really...
There you go. Good to see the manager speaks the same language as us. He said what we're all thinking. Our set pieces have been rubbish, like really bad. The way, we can blame Charlie Adam, who's the set piece specialist. We can, blame the delivery, which has been really, really bad for whoever's been taking it. So, they've got to work on that. But ultimately, they've got to come together to come up with some better variation and better delivery and players attacking the ball. It's such a key part of the game, isn't it, for a team that isn't blessed with loads of goals. But we do have what will be 2 centre-backs who are 6'5" and 6'6". We should be putting teams under way more pressure than what we do. And let's hope we put that right tomorrow and create a few good opportunities from set pieces. There is only 2 games left at Goodison Park. Everton are comfortably safe. We're looking upwards. We need to start winning games and try to get as high as we can. But the manager was asked what it's like. There is no pressure sort of on the team. Or does he feel pressure to deliver 2 home victories in these final 2 games? This is what he had to say.
Well, there's pressure in football in every game you come in, but you've probably covered the club over the last couple of years. The pressure the players in the club have been under in the last few years, it's been incredible. Our pressure now is to play well at Goodison, for the supporters, for everybody who's been coming to the stadium for years and years, for the families who've been here. The pressure is not one of, are we going to survive or not? We have done in the job's try to play well, a little bit of freedom, but obviously a determination to do well for everybody who turns up to watch us.
Sheffield United midfield player Gustavo Hamer is the latest player to be linked with a move to Everton. The 27-year-old former Coventry man's played 40 times this season for Sheffield United in the Championship, scored 9 goals and registered 7 assists. He's available for around £12 million. That's one of the fees that have been quoted. I don't know. He's 28 this summer. He's obviously a good footballer. Done well at Coventry, done well for Sheffield United in the Premier League. So the last season he done look quite lively. Thought he looked good, but just not sure if he's mobile enough for what the manager will want. But he has got good ability. Again, listen, as I keep saying on these news dailies, what we try to do is get you the stories so that you can watch them all in one place. And this is one of those transfer stories. We'll have to see whether there is anything in this. But Everton are linked with a whole host of midfield players. Dan Neil, Chris Rigg. There's just so many of them that we're linked with. So, but today is the Gustavo Hamer story, and that's why we're reporting it to you. And one other link today, which it made me smile, is that Everton have been linked with a move for their former defender, John Stones. It has been widely reported Stones will leave the Etihad this summer. He's 30 years of age now, and he's been linked with a move to Goodison Park, joining David Moyes. He was, of course, David Moyes' last ever signing as Everton manager in his previous spell. He's played 19 times in all competitions for Manchester City this season, scoring 3 goals. That would put him one of Everton's top scorers this season. It's just not a transfer I see happening. He's probably on a fortune at City. The injury thing. Listen, he's a tremendous footballer. And if you said you get him back and he's guaranteed to be fit for sort of like 30 Premier League games next season, then of course he's a tremendous player. I think he's brilliant in midfield as well. You only have to think back to the Champions League final against Inter a few years ago when he was absolutely outstanding. He has got loads of quality. But the injuries, David Moyes trying to build a younger, fitter squad, more robust squad. You heard him talking about Dominic Calvert-Lewin. They need to be more robust today in the press conference. John Stones will be in that same department to be a good signer for someone. I'm just not sure it's going to be Everton Football Club. And finally, Beto could leave Everton this summer. That is according to the Italian media today. They're saying there's 3 clubs ready to pounce on the Everton striker this summer. They go on to say that David Moyes has decided to sell Beto because he wants to bring in new blood in the final third, and they quote a fee of around €23 million for the Everton striker. Beto obviously had an excellent patch in David Moyes when he first came in. 5 goals in 4 games, or 6 goals in 5 games, but he hasn't scored since. He needs to be back amongst the goals and finish the season strong. Listen, who knows, but he did look like he was going to move on in January, and then obviously Dominic Calvert-Lewin got injured and Beto stayed and did really well. He's been in, he's played a lot of games for David Moyes and done quite well, but there has always been this link back to Italy, and I'm with obviously Everton really heavily linked with the likes of Liam Delap and Emmanuel Omega this week, as both forwards, then it would suggest that Everton may well be willing to let Beto leave this summer. We'll have to wait and see. That is it for the news. Make sure you like and subscribe. Check out the match preview. Check out Ped's starting 11 video as well. Thanks for watching. Have a great weekend. And come on, Everton, win the last ever Saturday 3 o'clock kickoff at Goodison Park. See you later.